Okay, welcome back to Gravel Trap Legends. So as you can see, there has been a little change in this lobby for this race. It's just going to be shortened by 10 minutes. So it's a 35-minute race now with the one extra lap. Still everything else the same, I believe. Still compulsory pit stop for tyres with a 5x tyre wear. And the GTL safety car is still available up until the last 5 minutes of the race. And track cuts of only the 4 before a drive-through. So pretty safe there that the drivers shouldn't have to have a drive-through with those 4 track cuts. 4.3 kilometres around this circuit over 16 turns at Yahuacocha circuit at Ecuador in Ibarra. So the guys are just on the dummy grid at the moment, getting themselves sorted for the start of this race. Really appreciate you guys hanging around as we having some technical issues, but it's good that we are back now. And we'll just quickly go through again the championship standings while we've got the time. And you can just see there that at Silverstone, it was a cracker of a first round that we had, the opening round of the Formula Juniors, and it was Dino that came out in front of Brett S, but obviously Brett S got the extra lap, extra point for the fastest lap. So there's some drivers there down the list that you can see, and we wish all the drivers here tonight the best of luck. And let's get straight back into it, guys. So here they are on their formation, up into their dummy grid order. So we'll see them all get themselves sorted, and hopefully this time, fingers crossed. So if you can all cross your fingers, cross your heart, hope to die, whatever you want to say. Get these cars through for the 35 minutes without an issue. And it looks like we've got another blank screen again, so I'll just go in. So have a little look. Don't know why it's doing that on me, but that's okay. We'll get it sorted. And hopefully this might come back. There we go. So it might be because we've been switching in and out of everything. But hopefully all my audio and everything is coming down through nice through your speakers tonight. Looks like a few drivers have already disconnected once again, so geez, I'm not too sure if it's coming up there, or maybe it was just the 15. So here we go. Thanks, Tim. So welcome along, Tim. Anyone else, if there's any drivers that you want me to have a little look at, concentrate on a little bit more, please let me know. As we know that Dino's not here tonight, so it's a big opportunity for some of the drivers to make their way through up the leaderboard of this little filling championship as we're waiting for the most anticipated update of AMS2 up to the version 1.5. To sit back, enjoy. There's some nice Monday night racing action with the Formula Juniors. The bloody 9, here we go. We've got support for the man on pole position, and here he goes. And I believe Esky Man's not here at the moment. He's been disconnected, so it's just go, go, go. So that's going to be not good for Esky Man, who was in 5th position in this championship. So, and let's not forget this Magic Mass out on the outside in the yellow car as they come down through this sweeping corner of turn 1. We've got all the cars coming through, but it's all happening down in this leading pack. Oh, and it's been checked up. There's almost a tyre touch from Christopher Razor and Cuckoo. Now, Cuckoo wants to try and keep it good if he can. He's one of the drivers that had a massive shunt in Silverstone. but he's down the inside of Christopher, but Christopher might be able to hold him off as he has. He's just been able to muscle it through and hold on to that 4th position. But up front, it's Magic Mass as they come. Look at the angle of these cars filtering through this corner here at turn 6. There's Pixel Boy. Oh, you see, he had a little bit of a moment last race we've seen with, not too sure, I forget who it was. It was just in this section here where they had to redress, but they got back going again. But a lot cleaner start this time. But let's go back up the front because I'm sure we're going to see the bloody 9. Who's just behind, and the draft of these cars definitely is in effect, so they get a good tow. And look at the bloody 9 just jumping over the inside curve of that chicane of turn 14. It's turn 13, 14, 15 on the charts, and he's off the charts. As one of the drivers has come in already for a pit stop, so this could be the compulsory pit stop, getting out of the way for Cuckoo. So a little bit of a strategy call here as the getting some fresh air. So this is a nice call from Cuckoo. So he'll be able to get out and be able to run his own race now. And he's cleared himself out of this attacking first 5 cars. Looks like Pixel Boy has got a very fast Bales Mackenzie. Bales in the sky blue car just behind him. He's trying to also fend off Truey. Smithy up into 8th position, so that's a good run by Smithy so far. Will the track remain wet is the question at the moment. I'm not too sure, but I believe that it's clear sky, so we're waiting for the sun to hopefully come out. Maybe the sun also does get blocked out by the big mountains as this circuit is tucked right behind alongside these mountains, so the afternoon sun does disappear fairly quick. Not too sure of the ambient temperature, so you'd think that this track will start developing a dry line in the next 10 minutes or so. And it looks like Esky Man obviously got kicked from the lobby, so it looks like he may come in and help out with the broadcast. We'll wait and see if he joins in. As Bales Mackenzie is doing the same thing as what Cuckoo was doing. Gets into that pit stop nice and early. Look at this battle, 5-way battle for the lead. Nothing separating these cars at this stage. Well, too early to gamble on the tyres. The question's out there, so good question as well for the tyres, but there's only the one type of tyre, which is the track groove tyres, the vintage type tyres. Oh no, and the bloody 9, big moment out into the tyre wall. And he would have definitely lost a wheel, maybe. He's got the wheels there, it's strange, maybe the tyre wall saved him. Normally it's full damage. So he had a massive moment, and these cars would accelerate once they hit the grass. You could just see that there was no hope of him being able to control that car, so a massive moment for the bloody 9. So he's way down in 11th position. Now Christopher's under attack from Rangy Rover. Rangy's trying to look to see if he can get in down the inside. these puddles in the inside of these curbs are just still causing a little bit of problem for these drivers. Oh, it's, Mark is having a moment of attack here on Kiz. I think Kiz, not 100% sure if he made a move on Kiz then. And Mark's trying to hold off Kiz. And it's a big welcome to Esky Man, who obviously got disconnected, so he's been able to join us in the booth. How are you, Esky? Bit disappointed there?
Yeah, good day. Yeah, a bit disappointed. It was running well in the first 2 tries, but then, yeah, kicked me out in the third. So that's right. I get to spend the evening with you now.
Yeah, definitely. So it's good to see you in here in the commentary, just to give us a little hand. So you'll be maybe just a 2 or 3 seconds off what I'm actually seeing. So hopefully you'll be able to pick up a few things and help out with a bit of the commentary, or even let us know what these cars were like actually. In these sort of damp conditions. You obviously had a couple of restarts because we had some lobby problems. So how were the cars in those opening stages?
To be honest, they're actually really good. They do slide around a lot. You really got to drive them with the throttle a bit. But in the wet conditions, it just kind of keeps the tyre temperatures down a bit, so you could actually push pretty hard still. Yeah, heaps of fun to drive, heaps of fun. So yeah, it should be good fun for those guys out there. Looks like they're having a pretty close battle at the moment up there at the front.
Oh, they sure are, and obviously that's where you should have been too, unfortunately, Esky Man, but these things sometimes happen. We can't help the internet sometimes, and we believe that the instability of AMS2 may be because the updates probably very close to being dropped, hopefully.
Yeah, that sounds like the general consensus through the guys there, but I guess I was just the unlucky one that time, but that's fine. Get to give a go at commentary, haven't really tried that before, so yeah, it looks like a really close race at the front at the moment. Magic leading the way, and Brett S going for a move at the moment. It's pretty hard around the back of the track there. It's almost one line, side by side, especially into the chicane where it looks like Brett's is having to go now. Pretty difficult to go through there side by side, so yeah, to slip back inside behind Magic there, so that was probably a smart move.
Yeah, definitely. So this long straight, so is obviously the toe, you get a bit of a toe from the car in front?
You do. It's not as effective as some other cars, but you definitely do get some sort of a toe. These first few corners here, it's all about precision. You're flat out through turn 1 here. Turn 2, you drop it back to third and just kind of hit the apex, slide right out to the edge and just carry as much speed as you can. Because if you lose any speed in these cars, you're going to have people overtake you because it's such a close race.
Yeah, 100%. And this is a very tricky part of the circuit too, this long turn 3 that the drivers is just going through.
Yeah, it's really tricky back to second 3 there, and then like once again try and hit the apex. There's actually a puddle on the apex at the moment, so it makes it a bit tricky. And then you go back to first for the right-hander turn 4 there, which is another pretty cool one because it actually opens up on exit, so you can slide it out there full throttle, especially in the wet conditions. Doesn't overheat the hot tyres too much. So yeah, really good fun. This whole track just flows so well. Yeah,
and that turn 5, like around that right-hand corner, it sort of gives you a little bit of a feel of Winton with a tree there on the inside as well.
Yeah, it does. Don't get object fixation there. In time trial, I did hit that tree while staring at it a bit too much and lost control and hit it. But no, it is very reminiscent of Winton. So yeah, that's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, Christopher's doing a good job there in third position as Brett takes the pit lane entry. So he's getting his compulsory stop out of the way. The man that we need to keep an eye on too to see where he might come out is this man here of Cuckoo. As he pitted very early, I think on lap 2, just to get out of the battle pack. And he's been running around in clear air. So obviously, we'll see where he comes out now in line of Brett S, because obviously he was in that battle pack of the lead.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty smart move by Kuka. Get out of the battle pack, just run some clean laps, kind of get out of the traffic and see where he comes out compared to Brett here. Brett's leaving the pits now, so it's going to be pretty close actually. And okay, so a bit behind Brett, but yeah, still good strategy I think getting in early, because there's any safety car as well that brings you back to the pack too. So you just got to manage the tyres a bit more. But like I said, with the bit of the dampness on the track, it's the tyre wear shouldn't be too bad, I wouldn't assume.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just one thing as well, is you mentioned about the safety cars, and the GTL safety car feature is in place where the drivers, if they get involved in a two car or multiple car incident, they can pull the GTL virtual safety car out, and just basically form up for a 1 lap or maybe 2 laps at the most. But that's up until the last 5 minutes of the race, so we've got 20 minutes remaining. So when there's 5 minutes remaining, there is no more safety cars to be able to be called. So it's a good little feature that GTL run, and obviously takes away the opportunity of someone trying to abuse the safety car rule late in the race as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a good feature. It can also only be called by the victim of the incident as well, so stop someone calling it when it's not necessary. And it just usually gives them a chance to get back to the pits, get some repairs done, and bunches are filled up again. So yeah, it keeps the race nice and tight. And, so far, it hasn't really been used so much. I don't think we had one last week, and not one at all this week. So yeah,
that's right. Yeah, so it's great driving by everyone to. I thought there was going to be one actually at Silverstone, because when those cars get out on the grass, they just seem to keep moving and moving. I thought they might have hit something, but everyone, especially turn 5 at Silverstone, there was a lot of action there.
Yeah, because you're sliding through the corner so much, if you just run a bit wide and get the rear of the tyre on the rear tyre on the grass, it just kind of drags you onto that grass, and you know what it's like ice out there. And that happened to me when last week when I touched the grass and I ended up on the wall. You kind of just a passenger once you hit that grass.
Yeah, definitely. And doesn't the flames look good coming out of the back of Smithy, who actually put down his fastest lap of the race the previous lap with a 1:40.9. So doing a good job out there in 4th position. He's yet to pit though.
Yeah, he's doing really well, and I see Truey's up there in 5th as well, which is a really good position for him too. And he looks like he's giving Smithy a bit of a hard time at the moment, so that's really good to see too.
Yeah, definitely, and they were at it as well at Silverstone, and Smithy sort of got away from Truey and was running in the top 9 with only, 10 minutes or so to go, and he made a little mistake there as he's just run wide here out of the final corner, as I think it may be Pixel Boy that's gone into the pits, and Truey hasn't been able to get that power down, but he's down the inside at the moment, well, looking to be down the inside, but I don't think he's going to make it through there.
Yeah, it all looked like it was going to be pretty interesting there. Smithy looked like he gave him a bit of room on the inside there, but I think Truey backed out of that one, which was probably the smart thing to do.
So Pixel Boy is still in pit lane. So we've just seen him now. And it looks like obviously now Cuckoo has been able to get past him as well while he's in the pit lane. So Cuckoo at the moment looks like he is only, when I say only, 7 seconds behind Brett. So Brett could be the effective race leader. Welcome Sandy Cool. Yeah, how do you join these lobbies? Obviously there is a Discord, Gravel Trap Legends, GTL. Tim might be able to send a little link there for all, as long as you're in the Australian New Zealand region. And they run their main league on the Monday nights from 8 PM New South Wales time. And then on Wednesday they run Shakedown, where it's just to basically turn up and drive. And it's usually the track that's up next for the Monday night league guys. So it's a good time for everyone to get a bit of practice in, and guys that just want to jump in and have a random run, they can. Oh yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you're not from the Oceania. Yeah, it's the ping rates, unfortunately, Sandy. I think you might understand that if you've played quite a bit of multiplayer in the game. So it's hard to try and get a stable lobby with some of the Northern Hemisphere this battle for the lead, as they're just picking the cars up now.
Yeah, looks like Chris has got past Magic Mass there. Didn't see that move happen, but yeah, looks like he's got ahead of him. We can see whether he can pull a gap or whether Magic will retaliate. Magic's one of those kind of guys. I've raced with him a fair bit in these leagues. If you get past him, he'll be at your next corner as soon as possible, trying to get past. He won't sit behind you for much longer than he has to. So, we're interested to see whether he's got the pace to keep up and then put a move on.
Yeah, so obviously I haven't seen Magic Mass before, but he's definitely got the pace out there. So he's been around with Gravel Trap Legends from what I gathered at the earlier in the night. So it's good to see him being able to come out here on a Monday night and tackle these Formula Juniors. And hopefully we'll see him hang around for the next series of the Endurance Championship that's in the making. And I believe it's already made up, but we're just waiting obviously for the new update and fine-tune a few things.
Yeah, it's good to see him back. It's the first time I've seen him race with us for a few seasons now. But no, he's always up the front. He's always competitive, and he's definitely not shy. He'll stick it up the inside if you give him half an opportunity. So no, it's good to see him back.
Yeah, this drifting is something that he'd probably be used to at the moment. I believe that he does run in the dirt league with Gravel Trap Legends as well. So he loves the car getting a bit sideways.
Yeah, he organises our dirt league and does a fantastic job. And if you can beat him, then you're an alien. He is so quick in dirt.
So these cars, he should be like a duck to water, really, I'd say, with them drifting out over their little slip angle.
Yeah, just from the onboard just then I could see that it was sliding around a fair bit, which is really what you have to do to keep the speed up in these cars. So I think, like you said, be right off his alley, which is why we're seeing him go so well tonight, I reckon.
Now, tell us, how ballsy do you need to be, or committed do you need to be in this last sector, especially when they come up to the fast little chicanes of turns 13, 14, 15. It's pretty flat out, but I'll tell you what, these curves could probably throw the car around a little bit.
Yeah, so it is flat out. The entry to the chicane, you hit the curb, you hit the middle curb, and then you're hard on the anchors before you exit the chicane and change down the gears. And the trick with these cars is to brake them in a straight line. They will spin pretty easily under the rear brakes. So yeah, hit that, and it's a hard brake down the gears, and then just slowing it up enough to tip it in to the final corner, which is a pretty slow corner, but if you're accurate through there and you get a good run, then you got the whole back of the track, well, whole front of the track, sorry, the front straight and the turn 1 and 2 to get through with high speed. So it's a pretty important corner, that last one.
Yeah, you can just see how important it was with, oh, look, I think you could just pick this up now, an accident there out through turn 3 at the big sweeper. Between the two leaders of Christopher and Magic Mass. Can Magic Mass get the car going?
Yeah, looked like he just went too deep under brakes there, Woody, and looked like lost the front end, just understeered a bit into Chris there, so that's unfortunate. Luckily, tonight they're not running damage, just due to the bugs that we had last week, so that's probably saved them a bit, but the guys that have done their pit stops, Brett and Cuckoo, are definitely going to get past them now.
Oh, so that explains why when we saw the bloody nine, when he went straight off in the tyre barriers on the entry into the final corner and smacked the barriers, but was able to come out with all his wheels intact. A little bit different to what happened to, was it yourself or was it Cuckoo at Silverstone into the barrier? I think it might have been.
Yeah, it was both of us. So it's just a bug that's currently in the game, which apparently is going to get ironed out in the next update. But just randomly, it'll kind of launch the car up, and if it gets you in the wrong spot, which it did for both me and Cuckoo, it sends you off the track. And, so the admin team took the decision to run no damage this week, just in case it happens to anyone else. So that's probably the smart thing to do, because it kind of could happen at any time. So yeah, hopefully next week if the update does come out, it'll be awesome. Yeah,
definitely. And what a nice little tasty battle we've got here with Pixel Boy joining in on the action between Truey and Smithy. Now these guys have all pitted.
So it looks like Truey got past Smithy in the pit stop there. So But didn't see that happen, but that's a pretty good effort by him, and he's got Pixel Boy on the back, so these three kind of are back together battling again, so hopefully they can make a good race of it.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the only guys that need a pit at the moment is Christopher and Magic Mass, so you'd think that they might think about going in shortly after that incident, even though the damage isn't on.
Yeah, so they're still going to make the mandatory pit stop. As you see, Smithy got the inside of Chewy there. That was a real nice move under brakes. See if he can get the run out the corner. Not quite. So Chewy's got him back, and it actually looks like he's vulnerable now to Pixel Boy. So it looked like a good move, but didn't quite get the power down out the back straight. But as I was saying, yeah, Chris and Magic, when they come into the pits, I reckon they'll probably be coming out around the 6th, 7th mark, going by the timings there. So I think that accident has really badly affected their race.
Yeah, definitely. So we're predicting that obviously Brett may be obviously the effective race leader with Cuckoo roughly about 8 seconds behind him. So there's Dino obviously not making the round tonight, who was on equal leader with Brett. So Brett should be able to take away a nice little lead. Brad Luck as well, not here tonight either, who was actually running second in the championship.
Yeah, so a few apologies tonight, but Brett takes this win tonight. He'll definitely run away with the lead, but it's only round 2. I suppose a lot of stuff can happen between now and the end. But yeah, he'll definitely be the series leader as it stands. If nothing happens, if he finishes in first.
And how's that slip angle for you there? That was fairly impressive going on with Mac Attack as it went going right through turn 10.
Yeah, that looked real good, but unfortunately it looks like it's made him vulnerable to Kiz now, because he did look like he lost a little bit of speed through there. But man, that was impressive, wasn't it?
It sure was. And now there's no love lost between these two either, because they're currently sitting 3rd and 4th respectively in the championship, with Mac Attack just in front of Kiz. But it looks like Kiz has got a nice little exit from the final corner.
Yeah, he's got the inside run now, just got the power down a lot better at the final corner there, and gets that move done. So that was a beautiful move by Kiz, just nailed that final corner perfectly, got the run and straight by him.
These two are having a great battle at the moment. As Magic Mass has come out. I'm not too sure if he's actually had a pit stop. I think he may have had a mistake there, because for him to come out just behind Brett and in front of Cuckoo after that incident, I don't think that would be right. But I still think, as you said, that the timing that it takes for the pit stop, you'd think that he'd be back in around 6th position.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right to me. So maybe he's had an issue on track there, maybe another half spin, or maybe his pit stop, they didn't change tyres potentially. You just have to see what happens, whether he goes into the pits again or not.
Was it set as a compulsory pit stop in the game as well, or was it just an on assistant, do you know?
I'm not too sure, sorry. I believe it was, but I'm not too sure.
As he comes into the pits now, so that answers our question. He's actually in now, pulls up. And this is one thing that I would like to see, Esky, is where they have the actual pit crew actually doing the work on our screen, would actually make it look a lot better for the broadcast.
Yeah, I have heard rumours as well that they're going to change the outfits to be period correct as well. So that should be pretty cool. If they can get those animations working, that'd be really good. It's actually in the game, when you come into the pits, if you just watch the animation, it continues working and the pit stop's done. So you got to actually look at the timer at the middle of the screen, otherwise you'll be sitting there for much longer than you have to.
Yeah, so it's going to be actually good with the new update. I'm sure we're all anticipating the release of the 1.5 version, and it's a good thing that they're always evolving this game. And I think it's, what do they say, it's about 2 years old now, two and a bit years old. Yeah,
it's about 2 and a bit years old, and I know it had some kind of rough beginnings. There was kind of a lot of, in the community, a lot of mixed messages about it. Some people loved it, some people hated it, but I think the last few major updates they've done have just absolutely transformed the game, and it's really nice to drive now. So once they get iron out a few more of the bugs with the multiplayer side of it, it's just going to be real good. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big thing as well. If they can iron out that multiplayer, which I'm sure that they will. Like at the moment, it's not too bad for league racing, but one thing that this game really is, it's so easy to set up a lobby. You can set it up for your mates or anything, and it's just so easy to, you know, adjust the settings and have things however you want. And Magic Mass has found the grass and had a big wild spin and into the barrier. So he's come out of the pits and he's binned it quite considerably.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to push through that final sector, maybe trying to make up some time from the issue that he had earlier on. Unfortunately, just dropped that rear wheel on the grass. Like I said, you're a passenger once that happens, and the round went. Luckily, managed to not hit anyone else when he come across the track. But yeah, he'd be dirty with himself over that one, I reckon.
Oh, he sure will be, because he was obviously in for a good position. He was just actually in front of these guys, I think, before we had that off as well. So
yeah, so he's dropped a few spots there, back down to 12th now, so he's got a bit of work now, but he could probably, in the last 5 minutes, he might be able to pick up a few guys and get back into the top 10.
As Tim mentions, it's maybe too much love for the dirt, so he was just giving these cars a little bit of a run for their money out on the infield, on the outfield actually, as Christopher comes on in.
Yep, so this should be interesting. Obviously, with that accident earlier on, he's going to lose a bit of time. But it'll be interesting to see where he comes out and whether he can make any positions up.
Yeah, so you might think that the pit crew are having a morning tea or an afternoon tea break. They are actually working, just not seeing it on the graphic. But as Christopher sits in the pit lane, Brett comes on through to take the lead of this race, and it looks like Cuckoo should do the same, as Christopher's just moving out of pit lane now. So he might filter just in front, or Rangy's just going past him now, I think.
Yeah, he's going to come out battling with Mark by the looks of it, so that's going to be a good battle there in between Rangy and Mark. So that accident definitely did hurt his chances of winning this race, but hopefully he can still get in there and get amongst it and have a few battles.
Yeah, he's just actually pulled out just in front of Rangy, so Rangy's got a big run on him down this back straight, and with warmer tyres as well, so I'm assuming that the tyre temperature is a feature in these cars. You want to have a bit of tyre temp.
Yeah, definitely come out the pits. Obviously, the era of cars, there's no tyre warmers or anything like that. Takes a good lap and a half to get tyre temperature up, and they are pretty slidey, so you can see that Rangy Rover's really closed in on him, and his best bet to get past Chris will be on this lap, I reckon, before his tyres warm up.
Yeah, Rangy's a good peddler anyway, so I could imagine that he'll probably stick with the back of Christopher's gearbox if he can't get through for the remaining 3 minutes of this race. We've also got that one extra lap, so there's still some time.
And it looks like there's a back marker here. Oh no, he's been ghosted, so that's right. So Rangy at the moment, he'll be concentrating through the S's here to get a really good run into the braking zone. If you can't make it move into the brake zone, then get on the power really nice. So he's sitting behind him, he's got to be concentrating on the exit now. If he can get that run and then switch green and down into turn one, if he can get past him. So it should be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely. And the bloody 9 is also starting to catch the back of Mark behind these guys as well. But he's a little bit off from off him at the moment, so we'll stick with this battle for third position. The little final spot on the podium is, look at Rangy Rover putting it on for the fans through turn 2.
Yeah, he's definitely having a crack, isn't he? So we'll see what he can do on the brakes down here.
I love this little part of the circuit too, as we said. It does have a resemblance to a little bit of Winton in the back part of the circuit with the trees and the winding nature of the circuit.
The whole track's fantastic. It's just so flowy, and once you get into a rhythm around here, it's just absolutely pleasure to drive these cars.
I'll tell you a story actually, Esky. This is why I actually end up getting the game as well. I remember watching a YouTube clip of, I don't know if it was GP laps or it was someone, and they did a 20-minute sort of time progression type race where it went from the afternoon into the night, then early morning, and I was just blown away by the whole experience when I was watching it as well. As he's 2x2 through the chicane,
That's brave. That's brave.
And you can see the end result. There's Rangy Rover has spun it on the final corner, and it's Christopher who's won on that battle. But look at here with Mark 860 now, been able to get up into 4th position as Rangy has dropped from 4th down to 6th position.
Yeah, no, that was just, it looked like he just went a bit hard under brakes, locked up. Luckily there wasn't any contact. Chris had to run off the track a bit there in avoidance, but it allowed Mark and Bloody Nine through. So I reckon Rangy will be a bit upset about that, but at least he had to go, I reckon.
Yeah, he definitely had to go. He wasn't going to die wondering, that's for sure, as Magic Mass had come into the pits once again, but he's out of the pit lane again. So we won't forget Brett is actually out in front at the moment, leading from Cuckoo with Christopher, surviving and withstanding the battle from Rangy Rover to hold on to 3rd position. But now we're going to have a 3-way battle for 4th position.
Looks like Cuckoo's closed the gap a fair bit to Brett there. He was 8 odd seconds. Now he's only 3 and a bit. So not too sure what happened there, or whether Cuckoo's just pumping in some good laps. But if he can keep that up, it should make a pretty interesting final lap.
Yeah, so they should be only doing, we should have one more lap remaining after this. So they'll be coming onto their final lap. As the timer is running out now, and then Brett S is just getting onto the main straight now. You can see on the mini map.
Yeah, so it's going to be hard to close a 3-second gap on the last lap, but I reckon Cuckoo will be giving it all she's got.
But you are right there, Esky. Look at that lap time from Brett, that previous lap time, 151.4 compared to 139. So Brett definitely had a mistake on that penultimate lap.
Yeah, it's very unlike Brett. Usually he's pretty consistent, never really makes any errors, so not too sure what happened there. But I think he's probably still got it in the bag if that was a mistake. I don't think Cuckoo will be able to close that gap in the last lap. But it looks like we've definitely got a good battle for 4th, 5th and 6th here. That's definitely not over yet.
No, it won't be over until they get onto the start-finish straight, I would imagine, as the Bloody Nine doing a great job, but he's right in the middle of this at the moment, as Rangy Rover obviously will be ropeable after coming off 2nd best on the final corner with between him and Chris, so he'll be wanting to try and see if he can pick up another place late in this lap.
I wonder if he's going to go for the same move into the final corner again.
Oh, with 2 cars in front of him, I'll tell you what, you'd have to have your eyes closed.
These guys are so close. I'm sure someone's going to have a go into this final corner. Or even if they go, looks like they're going side by side. No, just running a bit wide there. It's going to let Rangy through. So this should be interesting. Very interesting through here.
And how they go with the power on the line. Oh, looks like Mark got a little bit loose as it run drag down the main straight. Can the Bloody Nine get him? No, he can't. I believe they went through the start-finish line just back there. So, but it's this man here, Brett S, taking the victory in the number 55 and taking the championship lead here at round 2. Now,
yeah, another classy drive by Brett there. So well done to him.
Yeah, sensational drive. And we're at Yahuacocha. It's a very hard name to pronounce here at Ibarra in Ecuador for this circuit. But Cuckoo in 2nd position. He gave it all there at the end, but just couldn't get there. But Christopher Razor, good job for 3rd position. He'll be happy with that position. That'll probably put him up 2nd in the championship as we head down for round 3 next Monday.
Yes, that was a fantastic recovery from Chris there. Would have been interesting to see where he ended up if he didn't have that coming together with Magic, but on the podium still, so fantastic result for him.
Yeah, definitely is. I think we're all running through. We're finished, I think. Just a few cars going on slowly as the timer's counting down. Smithy into the top 10, so he'll be happy with that. Stu still waiting to get in the top 10 on a Monday night league. It's been a while. He's had a bit of a drought, hasn't he,
Yeah, yeah.
Esky?
No, it's he'll get up there. It's I've raced against him since the start, obviously, because he's been a GTL founder, and yeah, it'd be fantastic to see him up in the top 10. When he has his good nights, he's pretty hard to beat. I'll give him that.
Oh, definitely. I always enjoy my battles with Stu, and hopefully to recommence them after my recovery. So hopefully in another couple of months, and should be locking wheels, not literally, but pretty much side by side again with Stu. So I'll be looking forward to that. So there we go. What a great race that was. So 36 minutes of absolutely sensational driving from all the guys here at Gravel Trap Legends. And a sensational time, 138.4 from Brett Esso, the only driver to get into the 38. So that's qualifying time right there. Cuckoo just on the edge of dipping into the 38s with a 139.096. And the last person on the podium was Christopher Racer. So well done to those three. And we'll go down through with Mark in fourth, holding off the bloody 9. But we thought that the bloody 9 might have just got him, but Mark was able to hold on. And Kiz there dropping down into... Actually, he's into 6th, Mac Attack in 7th, Truey 8th, Smithy, as we said, in 9th. He'll be happy being in the top 10. Pixel Boy scraping the points to keep his championships alive, as Stu in 11th, Bales in 12th, and a couple of DNFs in the end. We had Magic Mass and Max Power retiring early in the race as well. He's having a rotten time in these Formula Juniors by the looks of things. The thoughts on the race there, Esky?
Yeah, no, that was a really good race. Brett obviously showed his class there again by keeping his nose clean, getting his pit stop done early, not getting into any battles, just running his own race and come away with the win. Same with Cuckoo there. He started back in 5th or 6th. So he did a real early pit stop. So the two guys that did their pit stops early ended up on top. So that was a good strategy by both of them. And there's some fantastic battles through the field. And that Mark and Bloody 9 across the line there. How close is that?
Yeah, it was very close. So really appreciate you jumping in and giving us some good insight of these cars as well. So all the viewers can sort of get a little bit of an understanding about these early vintage Formula Fords. And yeah, it was great to have that insight from you, Esky. And hard luck about the disconnect, but I'm sure you'll be back next week. And talking about next week, I believe that we are at the Monza Junior layout, Monza 71. So that's going to be something special, I reckon, in these cars for a 45-minute race. I think I said that at Silverstone last week. There's going to be over 50 laps around that circuit, Esky.
Yeah, it's going to be short, fast racing at Monza Junior. So looking forward to that one. Thanks for having me in the commentary booth. That was pretty fun.
Definitely. So until next time, guys, we'll see you next week. I've been your host, Neil Haines, and alongside us is Esky, and we wish him all the best for round 3 next week at Monza. Until next week, guys, cheerio.